Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about NXT for April 27th, 2021. Now, man, with this show, man, dude, this was not good. This was not a good show tonight. It was not a good show. It felt like to me, dude, it wasn't exciting. It wasn't exciting at all. It wasn't interesting. Some stuff on the show I did like. You know, the Cameron Grimes stuff I liked. The main event, the main event it was good, but I didn't agree with the outcome. Some parts of the show I cringed. Like some stuff. It's just like some stuff I liked on the show and some stuff I didn't like on the show. But I'm gonna get into that. But man, this was not a good show. This was not a good show. To me it wasn't. It was not a good show to me. So yeah. So yeah, this is the NXT review for April 27th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. Even if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. And so yeah, we started off the show with a match, and it was with the women. And it was Dakota Kai with the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez, in her corner versus Mercedes Martinez. And so yeah, this is a good match. It was a good match to open up the show. And so yeah, we had an overhead belly to belly suplex to Kai, and we had a spine buster to Kai, and Kai, she had kicked out. And we had a DDT to Martinez, so Dakota Kai, she was fighting back, so she had a DDT on Martinez, and Martinez had kicked out. And we had a corner running boot to Martinez, and Martinez had kicked out. And we had Dakota Kai, she hit the Irish Curse backbreaker to Martinez, and she kicked out. And so right after that, we had Dakota Kai, she targeted Martinez's arm. And so yeah, Martinez, she ended up fighting back. She had a Razor's Edge. It was a Razor's Edge turned into a face buster to Dakota Kai, and Kai had kicked out. And so Kai, she at one point she had tripped up Martinez into the turnbuckle. And so yeah, we had a running corner boot to Martinez. And so right after that, we had Dakota Kai, she took control of the match during commercial break, picture in picture. And so yeah, we had a pump kick to Martinez, and she had a code breaker to Martinez off the rope. And so Martinez had kicked out of the move. And so at that point, they were going back and forth with strikes. And we had a discus elbow to Dakota Kai, so Martinez is fighting back. And so yeah, we had three double underhook suplexes to Dakota Kai. And then we had an arm breaker to Kai. And so right after that, we had Kai, she had rolled out of the ring. And so yeah, Gonzalez, Martinez, she was going after Kai. And so Raquel Gonzalez had stepped in Martinez's way. And so they got into it. Martinez, Dakota Kai, not Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, she tried to hit Martinez. And so Martinez ended up taking out Gonzalez. And so yeah, Martinez, she had went right back into the ring and hit a knee strike to Dakota Kai. And so Martinez, she tried to go for a finishing move. And so, but Raquel Gonzalez, she had attacked. She had gave Martinez a big boot, so it was a disqualification. So Mercedes Martinez wins by disqualification. And so right after that, we had Raquel Gonzalez, she attacked Martinez, in the ring, inside of the ring, and then outside of the ring, and she threw it into the plexiglass. And that was it. That was it. And then they made the championship match between Raquel Gonzalez and Martinez in 2 weeks on NXT. So yeah, that was it with that. You know, at first, like with this match, it was two heels. It was two heels going at it. So I didn't know who to cheer for. It felt like in a match, Martinez was the heel in the beginning, but towards the end, Martinez was portrayed as the babyface. And so right after the match, Raquel Gonzalez, she got involved in the match, which is a heel move. And Martinez got beat down. She got beat down in the end, and the crowd was booing. The crowd was booing Raquel Gonzalez. So I'm guessing Martinez for right now is a babyface as she go after the NXT title, NXT Women's Championship. And so yeah, but yeah, man, that was it with the match. Good match to open up the show. And so yeah, right after that we had McKenzie Mitchell. She interviewed Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, who are the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, they were talking about their match later on tonight against the Robert Stone brand, and then they were talking about their championship match against The Way next week. Saying that they will not lose their titles and stuff. And so you had like a delivery person or a person that worked for the people that work behind the scenes, I guess, had handed Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart flowers, like a bouquet of flowers, and so yeah, they gave them not the titles, they gave them the flowers, and so Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, they were confused by it, and so you had Frankie Monet, she had came in, she interrupted everything, and so yeah, she grabbed, they had like a card in the flowers, and so she grabbed the card that was in the flowers, and so she looked at it and she started laughing. And she said, "It looks like you guys have a secret admirer," or something like that. She said, and so she read it, and it says, "Love Dexter Loomis," and that was it. And so yeah, Ember and Shotzi, they were fighting. Not fighting, but they were going back and forth, saying that, "Hey, this is not mine. This is yours. It's not mine. This is yours." And so that was it. Ugh, it was cringe, man. It was absolutely cringe. The way that they were not fighting, but like going back and forth, saying, "These are not my flowers. These are your flowers." It was cringe, dude. Absolutely cringe. And so yeah, right after that, we had Cameron Grimes. He had showed up in a jewelry store earlier today.
Watch out now. Cameron Grimes in the building. I'm looking for something like this. Just a lot shinier. Mr. Jeweler. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir.
It looks good in here, let me tell you. You see, I'm actually here to get something nice for somebody.
Oh, yeah? You got a special someone?
I do. Me. Is this gold? That's chocolate. I really hope you ain't gonna try to sell me a chocolate watch, because I was here to get the most expensive, shiniest, blingiest, most extravagant watch that was in this city. And I heard I could get it here. So what you got for me?
Oh, I got something for you, Mr. Grimes.
That's great, because I got nothing but time. Come on, I ain't got all day. What are you waiting on?
And so that was it with part one. So yeah, they had like two parts in the show, and this was part one. Him looking for the watch. And so yeah, right after that, we had the Grizzled Young Veterans. They spoke about MSK in the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Listen, MSK are a great little tag team, but personally, they're the two biggest knobheads I have ever met.
No, what?
The titles don't make the men make the titles. We are the leaders that this tag team scene so desperately needs. We are the fire that is going to ignite this division, and if that causes a few snowflakes to melt, then so be it. We are the grizzled young veterans, soon to be recognized as the next and most important NXT tag team.
Now, I hate to be the kind of guy that walks out here and interrupts another man while he's talking, but I've been listening, and I can't help but notice all the similarities between us. Y'all call yourselves the Grizzled Young Veterans. Well, Toothless Timmy and I, we're grizzled, we're veterans. Y'all talk about wanting to be the leaders of the tag team division. Well, once again, Toothless Timmy and I, we know a thing or two about being leaders. And by the sounds of it, all of us, we all want to face MSK, and we all want to become the next NXT Tag Team Champion.
They
the
got
last time we stepped foot in a ring with y'all, you guys happen to find a way.
Y'all.
And I can't help but to respect that hell. Old Double T over here. He even started watching some old footage of y'all. He started taking some notes.
What did I find? I found a lot of strength. A lot of strength. But there was this one show, NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. How did that go? Shoes off if you hate Gibson. Shoes off if you hate Gibson. Shoes off if you hate Gibson. Shoes off if you hate Gibson.
Ciampa takes off his shoe. Oh, and it hits Zack Gibson with the shoe, and so they ended up beating up the Grizzled Young Veterans, and so that was it. So Ciampa and Thatcher, they want the NXT Tag Team titles. They want the NXT Tag Team titles, and what, dude? Like, what exactly have they done as a tag team? What exactly have they done as a tag team to warrant a tag team championship match? If I had to choose which team deserve it, you know, a tag team title shot between Grizzled Young Veterans and Ciampa and Thatcher, I'm going with Grizzled Young Veterans. They deserve a championship match more than Ciampa and Thatcher. Didn't the Grizzled Young Veterans beat Thatcher and Ciampa in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic? Didn't they beat them in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic to go to the finals? Didn't they? Of course they did. So why is it that Ciampa and Thatcher asking for a tag team match, a tag team title match? They're not even a real tag team. They are not a real tag team. Grizzled Young Veterans deserve the tag team title match against MSK. Not these guys. No. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had an interview backstage, and it was McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. And you know, they were both talking. You know, Maverick, he doesn't trust Killian Dain, you know, because of Imperium trying to recruit him. And so Maverick think that Killian Dain is going to turn on Drake Maverick tonight. And so Dain, he said, it's not going to happen. All you got to do is have faith. And that was it. Right after that, we had Isaiah Swerve Scott. He was in a studio. He was in a studio, like a music studio. And he was talking about Leon Ruff, saying that, you know, what you did to me, you know, a couple of weeks back when you attacked me in the locker room. At first, you know, I wanted to say that you were a coward, but I'm actually here to congratulate you. I didn't know you had that in you. And so, you know, and then he ended up challenging him to a match in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and that was it. So we have a Falls Count Anywhere match next week between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. And hopefully, that is the end of the feud, because I am not a fan of this feud. Not a fan. So Isaiah Swerve Scott, he needs to win. He needs to win. He needs to win. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was Toni Storm versus Zayda Ramier. And so yeah, Storm, she had grabbed the mic before the match, and she said that, you know, she will end Zoe Stark. You know, she will end Zoe Stark. And and the things that I'm gonna do tonight to this rookie, you know, it's the same thing I'm gonna do to you. And so yeah, she put the microphone away, and so the match had started. And so yeah, we had two big boots to Ramier, and we had a sliding clothesline to Ramier on the ropes. And then she had a German suplex to Ramier, and we had a hip attack to Ramier. And then Storm, towards the end of the match, we had Toni Storm. She tried to go for the Storm Zero, but stopped the Storm Zero. And so she went to the top rope. She had brought Ramier to the top rope to try to hit it like an avalanche Storm Zero. But, you know, Zoe Stark had came out, you know, during the match. She walked to the ring during the match, and so that distracted Toni Storm. And so Toni Storm took her eye off her opponent. And so, yeah. And then, you know, Ramier ended up taking advantage of it, and she hit a shooting star press to Toni Storm. It looked like she almost missed it. She undershot that shooting star press. But yeah, she hit the shooting star press on Toni Storm to win the match. So she beat Toni Storm. So Toni Storm lost to a jobber. And so yeah, this is what I didn't like. This is what I didn't like, man. Why, like, dude, what are they doing with Toni Storm? What are they doing with her, man? Like, dude, you turn her heel, and dude, all she done was lost. All she done was lose, lose. She lost to Zoe Stark at Takeover, and then she lost tonight. She lost tonight to a nobody, to a jobber. Like, dude, oh my god, man. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. That is one thing I did not like about this. Like, dude, why is Toni Storm losing? Why is she losing? Like, dude, that's the one thing I didn't get. That's the one thing I did not get. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, was not a fan of this. Was not a fan of this. And so yeah, right after that we had Legado del Fantasma, that Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza. They spoke about MSK and Kushida, saying that they will win the match and they will have, they will be draped in all gold by the end of the night. Well, it wasn't a championship match, but they saying that, they will take all the gold. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that we had an interview with, so yeah, McKenzie Mitchell, she interviews LA Knight, and he was talking about Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell, saying that, if things doesn't work out between Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis, I want a shot at Indy. I want Indy. So that's all he said. And so yeah, right after that we had Everrise. We had Everrise, that's Chase Parker and Matt Martell. They came in right after Knight had left. And so they had asked McKenzie Mitchell, did you see our social media lately? And so McKenzie Mitchell, she said no. And so she said, right back to you guys, cutting them off. And so that was it. So I thought that was funny. And so yeah, right after that we had Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory with the Way in his corner, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano, the NXT North American Champion, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell, who was not happy. She was sad. She wasn't in her right frame of mind. She was upset about what happened earlier with Dexter Lumis and the flowers. So yeah, she was sad. So yeah, this was a great match. This is a good match. Probably one of the best matches on the show. And so yeah, we had a shoulder tackle. We had a shoulder tackle to Theory in midair, which was nice. And we had a hip attack to Theory off the rope to knock him out of the ring. And we had a springboard dropkick to Bronson Reed. And we had Theory at one point, he faked a shoulder injury. And so the referee went to go check on Austin Theory. And so Johnny Gargano from behind, who was outside the ring, had hit a super kick on Bronson Reed. So the referee didn't see it because he was checking on Theory. And so yeah, we had an over the top rope crossbody to Bronson Reed from Theory. And so yeah, so Reed, he ran into not the turnbuckle, he ran into the steel steps, rib first. And so yeah, the ribs, they were the focus of the match. And so yeah, so Theory, he had took control of the match. And so Reed, he was fighting back. He had a choke slam to Theory, and he followed it up with a running senton bomb to Theory, and Theory had kicked out. And so yeah, we had a rolling blockbuster to Bronson Reed, and Reed had kicked out. And Reed, he had hit a pop-up Samoan drop to Theory, and Theory had kicked out. And so right after that, we had Bronson Reed. He had a brainbuster, a nice looking one at that too. A brainbuster to Austin Theory, which was nice. And so yeah, so both of these guys are down. And so right after that, you had Dexter Lumis. He walked out to the ring. He walked out to the ring like quietly. And so nobody don't know about it. The way they were turned around, focused on the match. And so yeah, and so Johnny, he ended up turning around, and so he grabbed Candice LeRae to try and stepped away from Dexter Lumis. And so he had popped up from behind of Indy Hartwell, and so Indy Hartwell had turned around, saw Dexter Lumis, and she started to walk away from Dexter Lumis, and she was like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. And so she started walking away from Lumis, and Lumis, I guess, was trying to explain himself, but he doesn't talk. So I guess he tried to explain himself by walking towards Indy Hartwell. And so yeah, so Indy, she had gotten into the ring, and Dexter Lumis, he had got on a ring apron. And so, Indy was upset with Dexter Lumis, saying like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you at all. And so while they were talking, while Indy was talking to Lumis, we had Austin Theory and Bronson Reed, they were fighting in the ring. And so And so Dexter Lumis, he saw this, and so Bronson Reed, he had threw. Well, I guess theory he tried to throw Bronson Reed into Lumis, I guess, but Bronson Reed had ended up reversing it, so he ended up throwing Theory into Lumis. So, at first Lumis he had pushed Indy Hartwell out of the way. He moved out of the way because he saw, he saw that she was about to get hurt, so he had pushed her out of the way. So Lumis ended up getting, knocked over. So Lumis got knocked over, and so yeah, referee was distracted by all that. The referee went to go check on Indy Hartwell, and so Johnny he tried to get involved. When the referee was distracted, he tried to take out not Loomis. He tried to take out Reed, but Reed ended up taking out Gargano. And so to end the match, we had Bronson Reed hit his finishing move, that tsunami, that top rope body splash to Austin Theory to win the match, and that was it, man. I'm telling you, man, that move, that top rope splash from Bronson Reed, oh my God, dude, that is painful. It was painful to watch, and then they played it in slow motion, dude. Playing that move in slow motion, that top rope body splash from a big guy like that, dude. Oh my God. So yeah, so Bronson Reed he won the match. Now with the Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis stuff, I don't know where they're going with it, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens next. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but yeah, good match. Probably one of the best match on the show. Probably one of the best matches on the show. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had McKenzie Mitchell. She was backstage. She interviewed MSK, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nash Carter and Wes Lee, and Kushida, the Cruiserweight Champion of the world. And so yeah, they were talking about Legado Del Fantasma. How it's a 3-on-3 and not a 3-on-1. And so they said they were gonna beat Legado Del Fantasma by the end of the night. And so that was it. And so right after that we had The Way. They were backstage. They were upset about, Austin Theory losing. And they were blaming, Dexter Lumis and stuff. Blaming Dexter Lumis. And, and they were also blaming, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Candice LeRae was saying that, this is what they were trying to do. They were trying to hype up or fire up. They try to fire up Indy Hartwell, saying that, it's their fault. They the one that took, your man away. They're trying to steal your man away from you. They're trying to steal Dexter Lumis away from you. So they fired up Indy Hartwell, saying that you got to do something about this. You got to do something about it. So Indy Hartwell, she had walked off with an angry look on her face, and so Candice LeRae, she had followed Indy Hartwell, and so that was it. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match. We had a tag team match, and it was Imperium, Fabian Eichner, and Marcel Bartel versus Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. We had Alexander Wolf in Imperium's corner versus Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. So yeah, this is a fun little match. And so yeah, we had a crossbody to Eichner from Dain, and we had drop kicks to Bartel from Maverick. And then Maverick at that point he was using his speed against Bartel. And so to take control of the match, we had Bartel. He had slammed Maverick off the top rope. And so yeah, we had corner drop kicks to Maverick from Imperium. And then Imperium, they had took control of the match at that point. And then towards this is the middle section of the match, we had Eichner. At one point, he had grabbed Drake Maverick by the pants and started swinging him around and stuff. And so yeah, and so Eichner, Maverick, he was fighting back. He was trying to fight back, and he did end up fighting back. And so Eichner, Maverick, he tried to make the hot tag to Dain, but the Imperium guys had ended up taking out Dain from outside the ring, but Maverick, he didn't know about it. He didn't know about it, and so yeah, Eichner, he had kicked Drake Maverick in the back of the head, and so Eichner and Bartel, they were double teaming Maverick at that point, and so Dain, he had came in illegally and attacked Imperium, and so yeah, Bartel, so the Imperium guys, they ended up taking out Dain outside the ring. And so Bartel, from inside of the ring, he was yelling at Alexander Wolf in German, his native language, German. He was speaking in German to Alexander Wolf, who also speaks German, to go get a chair, to go get a chair. And so Alexander, he had got the chair. And so Bartel, he was telling Alexander to hit him with the chair, hit Dain with the chair. And so yeah, he had the chair. So Wolf had the chair in his hand. He was about to hit Dain with the chair, but he stopped himself. So Wolf had stopped himself from hitting Dain with the chair. And so Bartel, he was mad at Wolf for not listening. And so yeah, right after that we had Drake Maverick. He had took advantage of that, and by giving Bartel a tope suicida, and so they went back into the ring. Drake Maverick, he went for a diving crossbody, but Eichner had caught him in midair off that diving crossbody. And so to end the match, we had the Imperium guys. They had their finishing move, the Euro bomb or the European bomb, to Drake Maverick to win the match. So Imperium, they win the match, and that was it. Now, with this, my question is, what's next? What's gonna happen to Alexander Wolf? Because Alexander Wolf, he didn't do what he was told. He didn't hit Dain with the chair. Now, I do know, I do. Everybody knows why he didn't hit him with the chair because, sanity. Because of sanity, Killian Dain and Alexander Wolf, they have history in sanity. When it was Eric Young, Killian Dain, Nikki Cross, and Alexander Wolf, they were in sanity. So they go way back. They go way back, man. So that's why Alexander Wolf didn't hit him with the chair. Now, Dain, will he join Imperium? I don't know. I think he will. I think he will end up joining. I think he will end up joining Imperium. When will he join? I don't know. But eventually he will join Imperium because I don't see him being with Drake Maverick any longer. I don't see him I really don't, man. They are not a tag team. Since the very beginning, I was like, dude, what are they doing, man? They are not a tag team. But yeah, Killian Dain, he wasn't doing nothing anyway, so they had to find something for him to do. But I want something new for Killian Dain. And so yeah, that was it with that. A fun little match. And so yeah, that was it with the tag team match. And so right after that, we had Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne, he had spoke about, him being the baddest man in NXT. He says that he's the baddest man in NXT.
I'm hearing everyone talk about new opportunities, but nobody is mentioning my name. It's because I've got that whole locker room shook. I'm the toughest matchup there is. Just look at Kushida, cruiserweight champion. He stepped to me and I put him out. That title's mine whenever I want. Or maybe I'll quick time jump on a flight, go back home, spark water, and take back the title that I made famous. And then there's the North American title. Johnny, you step to me, and we both know the way it goes. Bitter end. And as for Karrion Kross, you don't intimidate me. I don't need smoke and mirrors. Trust me, mate. When I walk in a room, the mood changes. So listen up. I'm the baddest man in NXT. Try and prove me wrong. I dare ya.
And that was it. So yeah, that was it with Pete Dunne. Saying that, he's the baddest man in NXT, and he's going after all the gold, whether it's the NXT United Kingdom Champion Walter, the Cruiserweight Championship Kushida, the NXT North American Champion Johnny Gargano, or Karrion Kross, the NXT Champion. Now with this, if I'm Pete Dunne, I'm going after Kushida. He can go after Gargano, but it's a heel versus heel match. But if I'm Pete Dunne, I'm going after Kushida. I'm going after Kushida and the Cruiserweight Championship because he beat Kushida. He beat Kushida at NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. He beat him fair and square. He beat him clean. So Pete Dunne, he should be going after the Cruiserweight title. He should be going after the Cruiserweight title. You beat him already, so that guarantees, hey, I deserve a title match. I beat Kushida. When he wasn't Cruiserweight champion. Don't dude. He's not gonna go after Walter. We already see him in Walter. Nobody's beating Walter, and Kross. No, nobody is beating Kross or Walter. So if he go after those guys, man, he will lose. He would get torn to shreds by Kross and Walter. So don't. I'm telling him right now, do not go after Kross. Do not go after Kross, and do not go after Walter. You can go after Gargano, but you don't want to go after Gargano because it's a heel versus heel match, and heel versus heel matches usually don't work. But the best option for Pete Dunne is to go after Kushida in the Cruiserweight title. He is in that weight limit. He is that. I think I think he like 200 pounds, 205 pounds. So he is in that weight limit for the Cruiserweight Championship. So go after the Cruiserweight title. Go after Kushida and the Cruiserweight title. And so yeah, that was it with Pete Dunne. And so yeah, right after that we had part two. We had part two of the Cameron Grimes jewelry store.
Well, I mean, are you sure this thing's working? It's not even going TikTok. Karrion Kross would hate this thing.
I think that's the one.
It's looking like the one.
A Rolex watch.
That fine detail. I think it's perfect for me. You know what? I'll just wear it out. Ring it up. Oh, man, it's so good.
But it don't work though.
I love it.
That's not a bad watch, kid. But it's not $1 million watch.
Wow. Teddy Biasi.
That damn Ted DiBiase.
And that was it. So yeah, Grimes, he had a watch, you know, his Rolex watch, you know, showing it off and stuff. And then you had Ted DiBiase. At first you didn't see Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. He showed a watch, a more, you know, more, I guess, a more expensive looking watch. He had a more expensive looking watch than Grimes. And so yeah, and so he ended up laughing. He laughed and he walked away. So that was it with the $1 Million Man and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man and Cameron Grimes. So that was it with that. You know, really funny stuff. And so yeah, right after this, we had a tag team match. Well, it was supposed to be a tag team match. It was supposed to be Jessica Maya and Aaliyah with Robert Stone in their corner, the Robert Stone brand, versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And so at that point, I was like, man, I was like, dude, I did not care about this match. I was like, dude, I'm glad this match didn't happen. Like, dude, I'm glad this match did not happen. And so when it was about to happen, I was like, oh man, we gotta sit through another tag team match, a women's tag team match. And so when, you know, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, they attacked, you know, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart from behind while they were making their entrance. You know, they got distracted by the production people. They had like flowers and chocolates and all that stuff. And so they got distracted by that. And so Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell attacked Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart from behind. And they started throwing the flowers at them, the flower vases and the chocolate, you know, shoving in their faces. And that was it with that, you know, the Robert Stone brand, they were celebrating, you know, as if they won the titles. You know, the match never, the bell never rung. So they were celebrating as if they won the tag team titles. And plus it wasn't even a tag team title match. And so they were celebrating as if they won the titles. And so, yeah, that was it with that. At that point, I was like, man, this is a freaking circus, man. I was like, dude, what is going on here, man? I was like, dude, what is going on with this? And so, yeah, that was it with that. You know, one thing I will say about this, I'm glad that the match did not happen. The match did not need to happen. It did not need it to happen. But I'm glad it did not happen. And so, yeah, right after that, we had an interview. And it was a guy named Arash Markazi. He interviews Adam Cole, and they were like in a pool area, like a pool house or something like that, or a pool area.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I said too. Yeah, I've been waiting to get this interview. Hey, are we gonna get the show on the road soon, or what?
I'm just waiting on you.
Oh, you're waiting.
Oh.
They're waiting on me. They said. Listen, I'll call you back. Okay.
Adam Cole, baby.
Waiting on. All right, man, you got some questions for me, or what's the deal?
Yes, first of all, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. First of all, how has your recovery been after such a brutal match?
I've been better, for sure. I've also been worse. I've fought and I've wrestled through worse. You know, when you look back at my 403-day legendary reign as NXT champion, the War Games matches that I went through, the fact that at the peak of that championship run, I had a broken wrist. Whether I'm 100% or not, I'm still way better than that entire roster.
Looking back, was it a mistake to turn on your brothers?
A mistake, huh? Listen, man, I know that you're new around here, but I don't make mistakes, man. I make decisions. I decided that I didn't want to carry the Undisputed Era anymore. And not just carry the Undisputed Era, but I've been carrying NXT on my back for practically 4 years since I've been here. Even though I'm the one who delivered the first shot, they're the ones who lost sight of what the Undisputed Era truly was all about. So as far as I'm concerned, they turned their backs on me.
His first week back, Kyle O'Reilly, he opened the show. He main evented the show. What do you say to people who are saying he is now the face of NXT?
Nah.
People get so excited at every turn to be able to say, this is going to be the next big thing in NXT. Because listen, Kyle got really, really lucky at TakeOver. He got lucky for beating me, even though I had him beat earlier in the match. And Kyle's going to listen to other people saying he's ready for the main event spot. He's not. There's a reason he's been here almost 4 years. And people just now are trying to recognize him as a main event player. I know the anxiety that he's dealing with. I know that he is not sure if he's ready to be in the main event. He's definitely not sure if he's ready to be NXT champion. And the reason he feels those insecurities is because it's very real. And at the end of the day, only time will tell if Kyle's ready for a spot. But as long as I'm in NXT, he's never taken mine.
What are your thoughts on the NXT Championship picture and the new champion, Killian Cross?
You know, the NXT Championship picture has always been one of the most competitive divisions on the planet. And now Killian Cross is able to say that he is one of the best. Because the thing is, again, I never lie. I always tell it like it is. I always tell the truth. Cross is good. Is he great yet? I don't know. I mean, when you think about the first time he became the NXT champion, that crazy freak injury, was it a freak mistake? Or is he just not ready? And again, Cross hasn't had to deal with me yet. So if and when I decide that I want to go after the NXT championship, well then for Killian Cross, the clock's ticking.
And you, where do you go from here?
I know exactly where I go, but that's none of your damn business. That's nobody's business.
That was a great question, though.
Right now, I'm upset, I'm bothered, I'm pissed off about the fact that people are thinking Kyle O'Reilly is going to replace me. After me, Adam Cole, carrying that brand, and no matter where I go, no matter where I end up, you are going to see the best damn Adam Cole that anybody has ever seen. I can promise you that. Are we done? You're making me sit out here in this heat? It's hot. I'm burning up. You could have sped things up a little bit, and then at the very beginning, when you're making me wait, I'm here on the phone going, are we going to get this thing started or what? It was absurd. Absolutely absurd. That's not the way you conduct interviews, man. That's not the way you conduct interviews. How do I get out of here? What, this way?
They showed Kyle O'Reilly watching it from inside a place. You know, shaking his head in disgust at Adam Cole. And that was it, man. You know, this is great. This is great. I love the setting that they was at, you know, where they were at. And, you know, the suit that Adam Cole was wearing, he looked nice with the sunglasses and stuff. You know, Adam Cole, man, Adam Cole is the best. Adam Cole is the absolute best. He's one of my favorites right now, man, today, Adam Cole. And so, yeah, the interviewer did ask a great question, though. What's next? What is next for Adam Cole? And it looks like, you know, Adam Cole, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. You know, I hope he doesn't go to Monday Night Raw. I hope he doesn't go to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. No, stay in NXT. Stay in NXT because they will bury this guy. They will tear him to shreds, man. They would eat him up and they would chew him up. They would chew him up and spit him out on the main roster, man. I don't want him nowhere near Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. So I want Adam Cole to stay in NXT, man. Stay in NXT. Because we all know he's gonna get called up eventually. But man, it's just I just don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen. Adam Cole, he does not need to be on the main roster. He does not. And then when he do show up on the main roster, they ain't gonna do nothing with him. They ain't gonna do nothing with him. And so yeah, that was it with the interview. interview was probably the best thing on the show. It was probably the best thing on the show, the interview and stuff. And the Cameron Grimes stuff, too, was great. And so right after that, we had a video package. And they showed, like, a video package. They showed, like, people fighting in the background, like in a ring. And so, and then they had, like, a picture of a diamond. And it said, Diamond Mine. And so that was it. And so, could it be Tessa Blanchard? A lot of people was thinking it was Tessa Blanchard, because, she's the third generation diamond. And so, she have diamonds. She have diamonds on her ring attire and stuff like that. So it could be Tessa Blanchard. If so, then good for them. Good for NXT. And so, that was it with that. And so, right after that, we had the main event. The main event match, it wasn't bad, but I just didn't agree with the outcome. And so, we had Legado Del Fantasma. Well, first off, before I get to the main event, let's talk about next week's show. So, for next week, we have the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. They made it into a street fight, so it's going to be a street fight between Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell in a street fight for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships next week. And we have a Falls Count Anywhere match between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. And we have Finn Balor. So Finn Balor is coming back next week. His response, of after he lost the NXT Championship. So Finn Balor, he has a lot to say on next week's show. And so so the main event was Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza versus MSK, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nash Carter and Wes Lee, and the Cruiserweight Champion, Kushida. And so we had a springboard splashes to Wilde from MSK, and we had a double team move to Lee from Wilde and Mendoza. We had kicks and stomps to Wilde from MSK, and we had the faces they had took control of the match. The faces they had took out the heels. And so, and right after that, we had the heels. They had took control of the match during commercial break, picture in picture. And so, the heels, they had targeted Carter's arm. And so, we had a hot tag to Kushida. He took out Legado del Fantasma. And he had kicked Kushida. He had kicked Wilde in the arm. And so, we had double tope suicidas from MSK to Wilde and Mendoza. And we had a powerbomb. So, we had a powerbomb to Kushida through the announce table from Santos Escobar. And so, so Carter, he went to go check on Kushida, but I think it was Wilde. I think it was Joaquin Wilde. He had took out Carter outside the ring. And so Wesley, he was left all alone in the middle of the ring, but he didn't know about it. And so, so Lee, he tried to fight back. He tried to go for not a springboard. He looked like he was going for a cartwheel drop kick or a cartwheel Pele kick. But got caught in midair from Wilde with a drop kick. And so, the heels, they had took control of the match. They triple team Lee. And so, at that point, we had the medical team. They had checked on the medical team and the referees. They checked on Kushida, who went through the table. And so, Lee, he was fighting back. He was fighting for his life. And so, Lee, he started kicking and giving super kicks to the Legado del Fantasma. And so, we had a hot tag to Carter. He took out the heels, but he ended up getting taken out by Legado del Fantasma. And so, Kushida, he had got back up on his feet, against the medical team. The medical team was telling him to stay down, but Kushida, he did not stay down. And so, Kushida, he went into the ring. And so, he got caught with a phantom driver. So, Santos Escobar hit his finishing move, the phantom driver to Kushida. And then to follow that, we had Wilde and Mendoza, they hit their finishing move, their tag team finishing move, that Russian leg sweep, Enziguri kick combo to Carter to win the match. So Legado del Fantasma win the match. And so that was it. And so with this, I say this time and time again, champions should never lose, man. It was a non-title match. Champions should never lose. Like, if they want a championship match, they need to get some more wins. They need to get some wins. Like, dude, you don't need to beat the champions to get a championship match. Just get some wins. That's all you have to do is get some wins. But that was it with the show. The match was good. But the ending The ending, I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like the fact that the champions lost. You know, the champions, every situation, the champion should always win. That's just me. The champion should always win because when that champion lose, when that champion take a pinfall, that person that's holding the championship and the championship itself, it loses value. It loses value. It loses prestige. And dude, like, when is the last time? Like, dude, NXT they never do that. They never had their champions lose. Never had their champions lose. But yeah, you know that was it with the show. And so yeah, right after that we had Legado Del Fantasma. They had grabbed all the titles. Santos Escobar had grabbed the cruiserweight title, and Wilde and Mendoza grabbed the tag team titles, and they stood over MSK and Kushida with the titles held up over their heads. And so that was it with that. And so yeah, that was it with the show. You know, the show it really wasn't good. To me, it wasn't all that good. It was not all that good. You know, it felt like some parts it was exciting. Like, well, some parts I cringed at. Some parts I didn't like. You know, it just felt like it was, dude. It just felt like it wasn't exciting or nothing. It wasn't interesting or exciting to me. But some parts I did like. Some parts I did like, and some parts I did not like. And so yeah, that was it with NXT. I thought it was gonna be a better show this week. You know, last week's show was okay, but I was expecting this show to be better. But this show it was not any better. It was not any better. And so yeah, that was it with the show. That was it with NXT and a review for NXT for April 27th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button is a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of NXT. And yeah, man, share this video. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man, if you missed my last week's review for NXT, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And the link to that video will be down below in the description. So click on that if you missed it. Click the link down below if you missed it. Or click this video up here if you missed it. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.